Hello and welcome to the May 26th meeting of the Northfield Select Board. This is being recorded on BNC TV. We're all going to try and speak loudly because the fan is running on the AC, and if you see somebody get up and move around at some point, it's just to adjust keeping the room cool for the number of people in here. So we're going to start with appointments, and John and Oleg, if you can just hang out for a few minutes. We have an emergency appointment. So we have an emergency and urgent recreation appointment. So Stacy, come on up with Amanda and tell us what's going on. This is under the 48-hour rule, by the way.
And speak loud just because of that mic.
All right, I will try to do my best. Can you guys hear me okay?
It's whether or not...
Can Tyler hear me okay?
Tyler, do we need to shut it off?
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right?
All right, go for it.
All right, good. So as I'm looking on the agenda too, and do you want to talk about the resignation first? Or?
Yep.
Okay, so due to personal reasons, we got a resignation from our director for the summer program, Gary Conway. But because of the time of the resignation, meaning that we have 1 month up until our summer program, that means we have to sort of jump into action ASAP. Because planning takes a long time to get good quality stuff going on for the summer program, and I got really lucky. Amanda here was our T-ball coach this year. I was like so impressed by her. She was like super communicative, and she did organize a hit-a-thon for the kids for the money profited one of the parents that had a medical issue, and she just, I was like blown away by her. And come to find out, she also is getting her license to be a teacher, right?
Yeah.
And she works in a daycare.
Yep.
And I was like panicking, and so I called Amanda, and she also just so happens to be mostly available in July.
Yeah. Wow.
I did try asking our assistant director first, but he did not feel comfortable being the director, so it was kind of my only option was to quickly find a director so that we can continue with some of the planning that needs to happen before this begins. So here's Amanda.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Amanda.
Amanda Zellman. And
Nice job on your resume, by the way.
Thank you.
So there's a number of skills on here that I'm seeing that are really useful for
Really
recreation. So CPR and first aid,
Yes, I've
check.
been. Yep.
Medical background and knowledge of EpiPens, check.
yeah, big, yeah.
Coach of T-ball, check.
She did a great job considering baseball's not her
I
forte.
never coached before. It was my first time. My daughter wanted to do T-ball, so
Yeah,
I jumped
Let's
right
give it a
in.
shot.
She did
Yeah.
a great, and we call that like herding cats at
Yeah.
that level. So she did a great
We had a great
job
time.
herding.
Great. And also, you're a certified teacher assistant in
Through EEC.
childcare.
Yep.
Great. This looks good. I'm really sorry about Gary leaving.
Yeah, I mean, we parted ways on friendly terms. You know, he just had some personal things that wasn't jiving with what we were doing. So
Well, nice pivot. So I'm going to entertain a motion to regretfully accept Gary Conaway's resignation from the summer program director position.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we're done with the resignation, and now your proposal is, because we're doing this, we're trying to pivot as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Your proposal is to make Amanda the interim director, and you guys have already started advertising for a new
Correct.
director, correct?
correct.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion. Is there anything else that you want to, do you have any questions for us, Amanda?
Unless you guys have questions for me.
No, I
Okay.
do want to say, I think the pictures that you did of the kids was
Oh my God, that was so cute. And I was like,
It was
why
just-
did we ever think of that?
It was creative and innovative, and it looked, from the
Thank
Facebook
you.
comments, it looked like a big hit, so.
My favorite though was the hit-a-thon, and she had the shark costume.
I did, I wore a
She
shark
wore a
costume.
shark costume.
It was so hot.
I'll hire anyone who can stand in a costume.
That's right.
Yeah, for the kids, that's great.
Police were there too. For that.
It's been known to wear a costume.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'll enter, how do you want to, what motion do we have for that?
Oh, do you have the letter? I have it.
Okay, because normally we have this in our packets, but we're doing this urgently. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to appoint Amanda Zellman. Oh, Pine Meadow Road. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Down
my
in that-
neighbor too.
Oh, okay. We're going to appoint Amanda Zellman as position of interim summer program director to the Recreation Commission. This is a seasonal, non-benefited position. The rate of pay is $23.61 per hour, grade 5, step 6, effective immediately.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 It's unanimous.
Thank you. Nice meeting you all.
Thank
Good pivot, Stacy.
you. Thank you.
Take that one to sign it.
Okay. Whoop. Oh. Yeah.
Sign it together.
Yeah, Curtis. And you. Okay.
You're gonna do the bite. Okay. Okay. Police department update. Thank you guys. I know this was a lot of preparation. Where do you want us, and we had a few topics that you and I have talked about before, but you're also doing officer recognition.
Yeah, we'll start with that.
Okay,
Yep.
let's do that.
Yeah, he's outside the door.
I'll go get him.
They'll be
Sergeant
up.
Copeland wants to hear you.
I wrote some letters of recognition for our officers throughout the year. They've done some stuff, and I'm going to go
Great.
through them one by one.
Great.
Chief brought some of them that could be passed around.
Okay. Can we, I just want to double check, Tyler, do you want us to shut off the fan?
I mean, it would sound better if it was.
Okay, let's shut that off.
Just pull the plug. Just literally pull the plug out of the wall.
Okay.
It's the easiest thing to do.
Thank you.
We'll plug it back in once we're done using the mics there.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ole, go ahead.
Perfect. So this first letter is for Officer Chad Sumner. I'm going to read through them real quick. In October 2025, you responded to a reported fight at PVRS. During your investigation, you spoke with students involved, parents, school staff, and administration to gather information about the incident. You reviewed school security video and continued following up to ensure all facts were properly documented. Your calm and professional actions were helped handle a difficult situation. Your investigation led to a successful resolution. Your hard work and attention to details are appreciated. This was for Officer Chad Sumner. This next one is for Officer Garvey. In March 2026, you responded to a residence in Northfield for a mental health related call. Upon arrival on scene, you spoke with the involved individual, handled the situation calmly, and ensured the person was safely transported to the hospital for further evaluation. Throughout the incident, you remained professional, patient, respectful, while addressing concerns from both the involved individual and family members. Your teamwork and communication helped the situation remain safe and under control. We appreciate your professionalism, compassion, and dedication to serving the community. The next one is for Detective Curtis Weaver. In September 2025, you begin an investigation into a potential tax fraud. A Northfield resident reported someone had filed a tax return in their name. You determined through many administrative subpoenas, IRS records tracking direct deposit and credit card accounts, that the suspects were filing fraudulent tax return and stealing the identity of their victims in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Bank account records indicated money laundering in millions of dollars. Additionally, one suspect was being investigated federally for unemployment and health care fraud. Your efforts were above and beyond. Your hard work and determination led to a much bigger case than, than Northfield, holding offenders responsible and providing valuable information for the federal investigation. This was excellent detective work.
Just want to add to that, there's a couple cases that Detective Weaver has done, so a lot of our cases that the officers do, we hand down to Detective Weaver to do additional follow-up.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, they go outside of Northfield, so things that, victims of crimes within Northfield affects other people. In this case, if you, through what, we're trying to be vague in what we write, because there's open investigations.
Right.
Some cases involve juveniles or domestic type situations. But, for instance, it was a stolen vehicle report you had last year that led to the recovery of multiple motor vehicles and warrants in other states. So this is another example that tied in federally. So he could probably tell you all about it, but I'm going to save him from that, the technical stuff. But the subpoenas and getting the records from the IRS, it's all stuff like when you're have a patrol officer doing it, they kind of go from call to call to call and do traffic and stuff like. But he has time to actually dive into these things further. So we appreciate his efforts. Thank you.
Well, I was just thinking this was the reason why I mean, you had proposed it and we had discussed this. Is it like 2 years ago now that you put to, the detective role and
Yeah.
the sergeant's role? So
Yeah.
this speaks to the amount of work that goes into the detective role. Because I looked through the letters and I noticed there was another one involving Detective Weaver, and I do remember that that vehicle one, because that ended up like in New Jersey. Didn't you go to New Jersey or something? Or
I didn't go there, but it did end
Yeah,
up down there. And
yeah.
we ended up recovering it, so it was good for the victim, and we recovered about 4 or 5 vehicles when the New Jersey State Police went there.
Good work.
Yep. And he can utilize his task force experience and all
Right.
the knowledge of those people that he works with.
Good.
So.
Okay.
The next letter is for Officer John Cowan. In February 2026, you responded to a medical emergency at a residence involving an unconscious individual. Upon arrival on scene, you quickly assisted with CPR efforts and helped use the AED while awaiting for EMS arrival. Your calm response, teamwork during a stressful situation helped provide immediate care to the individual. You also handled the scene in a professional manner. We appreciate your professionalism, quick response, and your dedication to our community. The next one is, to Detective Weaver, but involves a couple officers, Officer Welcome and Officer Garvey. In April 2026, Officer Welcome reported PVRS staff were reporting threats being made on live broadcast during a baseball game. Detective Weaver and Officer Garvey responded and determined that threats were serious in nature and involved a firearm. Officers remained on scene and ensure safety while beginning an investigation. An investigation quickly determined the suspect who was at the event. Detective Weaver obtained a confession and the suspect was subsequently charged with threatening the school. This is a great example of excellent police work and teamwork. Great job. So, next letter.
That was the use of a detective like on patrol like today, where he get called to the high school and immediately started working. So, and then Officer Garvey.
That's scary.
Yep.
Next one is for Officer Welcome. In December 2025, you responded for a well-being check of 2 juveniles outside with no supervision. Your fast response prevented potential serious outcome due to the young age and the cold weather outside. Your follow-up with DCF ensured further long-term protection of the children. We appreciate your quick action and the way you handled the situation. The next one is for Officer Mitch Waldron. In April 2026, you assisted multiple law enforcement agencies during an active vehicle pursuit that entered Northfield. During the incident, you safely positioned yourself and successfully deployed tire deflation device to help stop the fleeing vehicle. Your quick thinking, teamwork, and ability to remain calm during a fast-moving situation help the safety of the public and officers. We appreciate your professionalism, sound judgment, and dedication to protecting our community. The next one is for, I think I already read Chad's.
Yep.
Next one is for Officer Waldron again. During your first 2 weeks working by yourself after completing field training, you conducted 5 separate warrant arrests. Your proactive police work, attention to details, and confidence in handling calls determined strong initiative early in your career with Northfield Police. We appreciate your hard work, motivation, and commitment to serving the community. I think that's all.
Yep, I'll add to that by saying, in addition to that, again, the cases we have to be careful with being vague
Right.
because it's a small town. Also, we get cards like this. This one happened to come in the mail after you had started writing these, but this is from someone in Northfield, a thank you letter, which I usually put in the officer's file, but I'll just read this one. Dear Northfield Police Department, is with heartfelt thanks to let you know how much we have appreciated your care, help, and support with our dear mother over the last several months, years, from having Officer Chad Sumner, they're referring to, come help with her overflowing washing machine and flooding floor, to having Officer Oleg, Sergeant Kobolinski, come in the late evening hours with fire department personnel, Skip and L, to make sure the furnace was working properly when her house was too hot for her comfortability. They stayed with her, with Mom, until she could get there, and other times to just keeping a watchful eye on her house and driveway. We all thank you for all your outstanding community services and being so good to our mom. So these are the little things, they're not quite to that level, but they impact the family even more so, arguably. So also,
Wonderful.
yep, and
Go ahead.
I was just going to give a couple other updates other than that. Oleg Kobolinski was married in August, so that's an update. And also he's expecting a daughter. So congratulations for that.
I'm building a house in Northfield.
Someday.
Yeah, I don't know if you,
Someday.
someday.
He's going to work on that.
Yeah.
He's going to be a
Chad-
Northfield resident.
Officer Chad Sumner, he had a double hip replacement and he was
Yikes.
out for a few months. PD did a good job helping filling on his shifts, and he's made a full recovery, and he's feeling better than he's felt in a long time. So great job by that. Other updates, Dale Brown retired. He actually got a job locally. He's working for Thomas Aquinas College, security there, the director of security. And now that he left, we hired Brandon Garvey and Mitch Waldron. Mitch Waldron has been very proactive, came over from Irving, so
Yeah.
we've had a lot going on, and
How long have they been on?
just for a couple months.
I was going to say,
Yep.
so I was listening to the descriptions and I was like, holy moly, they jumped right into the deep end of the.
Yep, so it's all
Cool.
worked out very, very well. I'm very appreciative of it. I couldn't be any happier with our PD. I think our community is pretty proud of them. I hear good stuff all the time. I don't ever hear any negative things, to be honest with you. Not that I want to hear it, but if there is an issue, let me know.
Excellent, thank you, congratulations. We're very proud.
You don't have to stay up for that. You don't have to stay up for the rest of it. Yeah.
I just want to say, I think it gives a good overview of the types we've talked about this over the years, that it's not just pulling cars over,
Yeah.
right? And because you can't get into the details, it's not like we're putting that out on Facebook or something. You're always trying to keep it general. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys doing this. I think we kind of had a few months lag time. Maybe we'll make sure we do it like in another 6 months in the fall or something,
Yep.
just so we can keep on top of what's going on that's positive and what kinds of things you guys are running into. That whole list of different things got my attention, I'll say that.
Well, I'll be quick because there's a lot of people
Yeah.
here, but pulling cars over is what we're going to talk about next. in
Yes,
fact.
exactly, because we do that too.
Yep, so you
Okay.
wanted an update on Miller's Falls Road?
Correct. I know that you're working on a few things, and you and I spoke. The rest of the select board doesn't necessarily know that, and they needed an update. And I know you had spoken with a group of residents down there. And then you also had some new ideas for Main Street. And then
Yep.
I was going to reach out to FERCog to support what you're trying to do with FERCog, but I wanted to make sure if there's anything else the select board needs to do in order to support what you're trying to do, that we hear that and act on it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a magical wand, I'd make a number of things happen. The parking on Main Street really concerns me.
Rotaries.
Yeah, I've been talking about the parking for a while. I'd love to have better parking, something maybe on the backside of where the creamy is, so people don't park in the road. It kind of puts me and the police officers between a rock and a hard place, because how do you tell people not to park on Main Street? But it's just not the safest place to park. Thankfully, nothing has happened yet. We're gonna try to keep the speeds down. I think the radar speed signs have been helping for the last few years for that. Also, we have a heavy presence on Main Street. Other things with DOT and FERCog is that 2 out of the 5 crosswalks don't have the buttons you can push. So I'd like to bring that up to date. Why not have those, also have those, because there are intersections, like right here is a very busy one. It would make sense for people crossing, would be safer by hitting the button. Again, the button's not a magic force field. You still got to look both ways.
Yeah.
Cars
Not
aren't
be on your phone.
Yep. From an
Yeah.
enforcement point of view, you kind of got to take a step into the road or close to the road, or else we're not going to be able to pull over cars if you're, not standing next to the road, even if you push the button. That's the way that the law is written up. You have to actually be crossing the road, or if you're on the other side.
About to.
Yeah, within
Okay.
10 feet of
Good
the
to know.
middle line. A roundabout, you mentioned the roundabout. I would love in 10 years from now at some point that they put a roundabout at Route 10. I think that's as more and more population increases, traffic increases. Right now, the traffic sometimes gets backed up over the Connecticut River Bridge as they're coming into town. It's not very frequent, but I'd rather a roundabout personally than a traffic light there, but that's just my personal preference, more as a citizen than a police chief. The other thing was the lights at the school. They're very, very old. Who they belong to, I guess it's the school, but it seems to me it should be a DOT thing. It's along Main Street, which is controlled by DOT, but the lights are very old. A lot of people we pull over there when the kids go to school, when they get out of school, it drops to 20 miles per hour. They don't see the light. They see the cop in front of them, they see the cross guard, they see everything else, but they don't see the one thing we want them to see, which is a flashing 20 mile per hour sign. So if we can work with them to maybe get a better sign, or at least ones that are working, the one on the northbound, the one north near the library hasn't been working for about 3 weeks because of an electrical issue. Moving on to Millers Falls Road, a group of residents that live along the 45-mile-an-hour stretch where it gets a little bit windy going by Field Library. They'd like the speed limit dropped. I'm actually not a proponent of that. I feel like 45 is not too fast there. Obviously, people speeding are going through too fast, so we've been doing enforcement in that area for over a year now, but we don't see a drastic speeding issue in the area. It's just not a good place for people to cross a road. So a lot of people go into the Field Library, which has the clothing closet. They have 1 or 2 busy days, and they have to park across the road, and then they got to play Frogger to get to the other side, which is dangerous, which I totally understand, but a crosswalk's not going to help. If anything, that's going to make it more dangerous. I'm also talking to FERCog to maybe get flashing signs during the hours of operation to tell people to alert drivers that they're crossing during those times. In the meantime, Tom helped me order a couple signs that we're putting out near the roadway during their events. And they'd also like me to request through DOT to have the traffic speed dropped, which I don't mind doing that request, but I don't think it's very likely, because as I drive around, I don't see that as a road that is like extremely egregious in its speed limits. In fact, sometimes the opposite can happen. The speed limit can go up. I would hate for that to happen. But either way, we gotta be present, and we have been pulling over a lot of cars, or at least in the area, to make sure that cars are slowing down in that area.
So you've also done, I know this has come up before, people have asked about the part-time vehicle, because you guys park it in different places, and people, I think the question came up at the info session, was like, what's going on with why do we have empty cars if we're buying new cars? Do you want to address that? Because I know the Millers Falls Road folks wanted, when that vehicle's not in use, actually wanted it down there.
Yeah.
So can you just explain that it's the part-timers
Yeah, I mean,
how that works?
if you're watching the cruiser that's usually sitting in the back here, it's not always the same police cruiser. So cruisers can't be driven 24/7 or else they're not gonna last more than a year.
Yeah,
So our rotation makes it so they last 2 or 3 years currently. I'm trying to get three years out of it. We just purchased a new one because the town voted for it, but I passed up the first year because I don't order a cruiser unless it's absolutely necessary. And I kind of gauge that by the age of the current cruiser, the oldest cruiser we have, and how well it's doing. So if that's gonna be not cost effective to keep it, it's better to get a new cruiser, I'll do that. We're also trying to get rid of the gas cruisers and move towards a hybrid, half gas, half electric, which
Yeah.
helps it. So we can move around cruisers, but the issue with that is that they are used frequently. So when an officer comes in, they're not gonna know where that cruiser is parked, especially in an emergency. So I have to send out a text to all the officers to say, the cruiser is down at the field library, or it's down on Gulf Road, which we do many times, but that means they gotta park their personal car there, get into the car, come back to the station, gear up, or go from there
Okay.
to an emergency. So, but that's kind of the shuffle. I was told that anyways. I was told, hey, don't show the amount of cruisers you have because people are gonna complain about it. But it is what it is. Our police cruisers are our office, so that's where we work out of. And we can't drive them 24/7. We have
Yeah.
to rotate them out. So they need a break. They're getting a break. It's kind of, we actually have a pretty good thing going for Northfield as from my perspective in the maintenance of it, how much it's costing me
Right.
to get them repaired and upkept versus when we actually purchase it. Because we're not purchasing them every 2 years, which was the plan that I inherited when I got this job. I will push it out 3 years depending on the cruisers we have. That was long-winded, but I hope that made a little bit of sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, we talked about this a few months ago, that you had quite a bit on your plate, especially with some of the personnel changing out.
Yeah.
So we split what you were doing and speaking about to the select board out over 3 different meetings.
Yeah.
And in between, you went down to the field library to talk to people.
Yeah.
And I know there's one person who's still not happy with speed, quote unquote, speeders.
Yeah.
Did you go over the data with them too? Like, because there is data that comes from those signs, right?
Yeah, every time I've checked the data on the signs, which is frequently, it's showing, 1 or 2% speeders. So out of 100 cars, if I sat there and watched 100 cars go by, 1 or 2 of them would be in a level of speeding. For instance, if I'm sitting there and a car goes by me at 51 miles an hour, I'm not pulling it over. If it's going 57, 50, or 7 or 8 miles an hour over, I might give it a flash to slow it down. But I'm not giving anyone the okay to just speed.
Yeah.
But I'm just being
Be careful,
real.
you're on camera.
I'm being realistic. People expect a little bit of, fairness and some common sense from police officers. If you're going 1 mile an hour over, we're not gonna pull you over for that. So the majority of cars are going within the speed limit of the speed that we would pull someone over.
Or the
for.
margin that we normally, I
Yeah,
mean,
a lot of cars go under 45 miles an hour there. They're going through at 40, 39. Honestly, a lot of times that's what causes people to then speed around them because they're going under the speed limit, and then as soon as someone gets a passing lane, they're zooming by them. So again, I'm not making light of it. It's job security for us to pull over cars, but we're pulling them over when we see them. If I sit there for a little bit, I find that they flash each other anyways. So I try to do the driving up and down thing. That usually works better for me personally. But every officer has their own tactics. Officer Waldron's been doing good, and that's most of his warrant arrests are coming from motor vehicle stops. So,
yeah.
so.
Well, and I know Officer Weaver has his hiding spots that you don't normally see until you're right up on top of.
Yeah, until he's pulling you over.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, questions from the select board or comments or?
Where's that hiding spot? He knows.
Oftentimes he's right out under people's noses. Were you in front of the EMS station this weekend too? Was that you or somebody else?
Yep,
I know
yep.
that's one of your spots.
Yep, that was.
I can't believe people don't realize that you're not there, because you're sitting like right there in front of EMS.
Exactly.
But
No, I don't have any questions. It's nice to hear positive feedback from the community, which is kind of what I expect from most of you guys, so it's not surprising, but it's always nice to hear.
Shane, do you have questions?
No.
or-
Well, you live on Millersville Road, so.
I do. I'd like you to set up a station right across from my house. You park in the driveway, I'll feed you. Yeah, there's some special motorcycle traffic this time of
Yeah.
year that flies through there.
Yeah.
It's just a long straightaway,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Yeah. Motorcycles are tough for us too. Again, we're not giving people the okay,
Yeah.
but there are policies and procedures for when you pursue. We're not gonna try to kill people, chasing
Understood.
people.
yeah. So we're gonna, you and I spoke, if we need to do more with DOT, that we're more than happy to help, like sign a
Yeah.
letter or do anything
I
like
would,
that.
I would like that. As proactive as you could be
Yep.
about, again, your issues and the way you see it doesn't have to be the way that I see it.
Okay,
But in general, about the lights at the school, I think that should be a big priority.
yep, I
They
do
have to
too.
slow down for the school. The crosswalks, and I think that's a great idea, having flashing signs that say pedestrians ahead at certain times for the field library. That'd be great.
And the field library, those kind of blinking signs, those are the ones you and I talked about that are near, if people are familiar with the NMH fields, they,
Going in a gill, yeah.
yeah, they kind of,
Yeah.
they use the solar
And it can be
to,
programmed for that time. I think it's Monday. Mondays they have it, so it doesn't have to be all the time that they're flashing. but-
like at night or something,
Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
So are you asking MassDOT for those as well, or
I
that's
was-
where you're working with FERCog, or you're working with both? I just
I was
want
gonna go through MassDOT, but when I took, again, I don't want, I'm on video here, so I'm not trying to disparage anyone, but when I got these radar signs put around town, that was a lot to even make that happen. So I noticed that FERCog had some people kind of in this lane.
Yeah, Beth,
So I've
yeah.
started with them,
Yeah.
and then they work with DOT. So I'm hoping that might work a little bit faster, so
Yeah.
that's the avenue I'm going.
Okay,
Every year they send out, if we'd like to have speed studies done. I'm not sure if that's
do you want us to
happened
look
this
into
year. Well,
that?
the FERCog does it. They have all the
Yeah.
equipment. Sometimes it's good to do, like if you wanted to set those
Yeah.
down there, because then they can use that data to help them. And that will do traffic for like a week. And then they can say what kind of vehicles, the size of the vehicles, they do all that data. We've done it on various roads in the
Yeah.
past where people thought there were speeders.
Do you want us to ask for that too?
But I'm not sure when that comes out. Usually
Everything?
they notify
All of
us.
the above?
That's completely up to you.
I'll email and see when they're doing that.
Okay, well, let's do this, because I think sometimes it's helpful to have an official letter, especially if we end up dealing with MassDOT. And over the last, on other projects over the last year or two, we've actually had really good attention from MassDOT. They had some, I think, some change in leadership, and we've worked a lot with Senator Comerford and Rep. Whips. So if we need to, we can certainly get more attention on it, but I think the first step is just asking. So I think I'll entertain a motion to authorize the chair to write a letter, or authorize the town administrator to write a letter for changing out the lights at the school, for assistance with that, adding crosswalk flashers at the two crosswalks that are missing them, and then getting the lighted pedestrian signs indicating pedestrians are in that field library, and also Jim Rice's stand when he starts opening, that's all in that same vicinity, and also a speed study. So I have 4 things. So we'll write a letter, and if the board would authorize me to sign the letter that the town administrator puts together, we'll get it out, and I'll follow up with Beth at FERCog.
so moved.
Great.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
You forgot the roundabout. I'm just kidding.
that's gonna be a whole different
Yeah.
project. I have been promoting that, by the way, because I think it's just a matter of time that Route 10 intersection gets higher up on the MassDOT list,
Yeah.
because if people are familiar with Montague Center, the 47 and 63 is a really dangerous intersection. I believe they're putting in a rotary there,
Yeah,
or roundabout, whatever we call them now.
yeah. It
So,
would slow, right now it's a 40 through there, and so that was, the roundabout would slow that 40.
yeah,
People
yeah.
are coming off Millers Falls Road on the Main Street.
Yep.
fast.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, all right, now, what we're going to do is skip Skip, I need you to hang out for a few minutes if you don't mind.
That's fine.
We had a few urgent things and appointments. So citizen concerns, we'll try and get you out of here so you're not sweating for the rest of the night. Who wants to speak? Is it, okay, is Hannah? Okay, Hannah, do you want to come up? So the way this works, and I know this has been, I'm going to just say this, I say this whenever somebody comes up, but normally we don't have people, this is like an unusual night. We don't usually have this many people and this many appointments, but sometimes we have these meetings set up where we try and get folks in under an appointment. And then we'll do the citizens' concerns as we can kind of fit it in, depending on who's, so we're going to be talking with Skip as well. So I'm going to slide the citizen concerns in before we get through the rest of our business and talk with Skip. And the way citizen concerns work, it's an opportunity for us to hear and to listen. So because it's not on the agenda, we're not engaging and we're not discussing, but each select board member will take into account what's being said, and we do all have handouts. So if there's more that a select board member wants to pursue, they are free to do that. And generally we allot about 3 minutes, which normally is what we do at town meetings and citizen concerns. And believe it or not, 3 minutes usually works. We're not gonna like totally come down with the hammer right at 3 minutes, but I'll just give you a heads up, like start wrapping it up. Okay, so you need to start with name and address, and then we'll get going.
Okay. My name is Hannah Augustine. My address is 837 Old Wendell Road in Northfield. And I'm here tonight on behalf of the Northfield Community Action Group, which came together last year out of a deep concern about the many actions by the federal government that threaten fundamental rights to due process, safety, and participation in the democratic process through voting. We are here tonight to bring to your attention a resolution of concern about constitutional rights. This statement is similar to ones passed by 93 other cities and towns in 25 states. We ask that the select board review and discuss this resolution and offer us guidance about how best to make this a town policy. Most important, we seek to convey our town's concern about these issues to our elected state and federal officials. Thank you for this opportunity to comment. We have provided copies for all the select board members, and we're happy to make these available to the public as well. We also provided copies of signatures, which I've got here. Copies of signatures of a number of town residents who support this effort. And we are glad to take any questions. We've got our signatures here if you'd like to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jeff. Okay. Start, Andrea?
Yeah, I'll attach them to
Yeah.
formal copy.
Okay. Great. So this will become part of the public record. And like I said, we're not discussing, but we've heard it, and we'll take it under advisement. And I'm looking at the rest of the select. If somebody wants to follow up, they would let the chair know that.
Okay.
And I'll certainly take a closer look. I'm familiar because you had emailed back, I think it was in January, and then I talked to Lynn.
Yes.
Hi, Lynn. I talked to Lynn back when you had a cold.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're feeling better, so that was a while ago.
it was in April.
Yeah, so I'll circle back with Lynn just from a personal standpoint, and the rest of the select board can let us know. But we appreciate you coming. We actually like having the company, and I think it was great for everyone to hear the police and some of the other things that we're looking at. So we appreciate everybody coming and sitting through like the heat.
I
Okay.
mean, if you'd like to share this, I was hoping that the officers would stick around so that they could hear it too, but maybe you can share the resolution with them as well, so that they're aware.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other? Sorry, that's my. You were just under, Hannah. Good job. You were just under 3 minutes. Jinx, do you want?
Another citizen's concern?
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
come on up.
Thank you. And it goes right along with what you're doing tonight.
Okay.
Jinx Hastings, 30 North Lane. Howard's not here, I guess.
Oh, Howard.
Anyways, I really appreciate your having the citizens' concerns early in the meeting. And I would like to ask the select board to consider having citizens' concerns established sort of after the appointments, because it's hard for people to wait an hour or 2 hours or whatever for a 3-minute comment. So I really like what you've done tonight in particular. So that's one thing I'm interested in. And part two, I'm under my 3 minute, I'm sure.
You're okay.
We have concerns about the potential EMS building that's they're interviewing people for project, what do you call them, not managers, planners, project planners. And we and many other people in town want to see the fire station happen first before the EMS happens. So I'm just asking you to consider the logistics on how this all happens. That's, anything else?
No, you've done a fine job.
Great, okay.
Good
thank
support, and you're well under time frame. So
Oh, good.
congratulations. That just goes to show you 3 minutes goes a long way.
It works.
Yeah,
It works.
It does.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
considering.
much.
Good.
Okay, now that you're here, David.
Any other citizens concerns?
Yeah. Any other?
Okay. just
We're
wanna make
good?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Feel free to hang out.
I'll take less than 3 minutes.
Well, you've had a lot of practice, Skip, so, yeah. Okay, we actually have a pretty good agenda, Skip. If you don't mind hanging out for a couple more minutes, we can just not blow, but roll through the rest of that. I did want to take up under 48 hours, we already handled the recreation change. Shane, you have a disclosure by special municipal employee of financial interest in a municipal contract as required by Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 268A, Section 20, lowercase d. So now we have a quorum
Okay.
because you can't vote for
I will
yourself.
excuse myself for a moment.
So he's going to step out. We only do this once in a while, so I'll just wait until. Okay.
It's a great song, by the way.
Thank you. It's perfect for. Okay. Can you just explain? We only do this once in a while. I think we did one last year with Dan when he was both assistant town clerk and select board. So the rule is that if you're an employee and you're on the select board, you have to file a disclosure.
Anything with, financial interest, theoretically a financial interest.
Right.
And because he gets, as he's filed in his disclosure, he's on the fire department and there's pay involved. Not sure he's not retiring on it, but be that as it may, he has filed this disclosure to let you know, and he spoke with ethics, which he again discloses if you read the disclosure. And it's just basically the advice they've given him is to file the disclosure so that it's on notice with the town and the select board. And the steps that he will take, which will be to not vote on anything related to pay for fire. So like every other warrant, I think they do monthly payroll. He just won't vote on that pay warrant.
Yeah.
Dan was still signing the warrant, the payroll warrants, and he was getting paid.
He
I mean,
filed his disclosure and he had, I don't know, he disclosed
Yeah,
his
because
pay.
yeah.
Any
Because I don't
different.
I think signing that for it's a voting on a pay increase or something like that. I think that's what it refers to more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
so,
could be wrong.
yeah.
Well, we
so-
can double check on that
And it's
because,
his choice too. He could
That's why
decide
you're
that he doesn't
disclosing
want
it.
to
Yeah.
do that, just to be clean. That doesn't mean that, and they give you advice. They don't tell you you can't necessarily. They're saying, this is what we would recommend or not recommend. And everybody's situation is different.
And it depends who you get too. I've checked with them
oh, that's right, because
on
of the
conflict of
steward.
interest
Yeah.
a couple times, well, a few times, especially when I was the chair. And I had to call twice on one of them, and I got two different answers.
Well,
from
because
different-
some of these
so-
rules aren't so hard and fast, and they're going to give you the best advice. And to some extent, they
Yeah.
leave that advice up to you, unless you're doing something illegal, which in this case is
Right.
not
Well, I
the
always
case.
ask for
Right.
them to send me something in writing, an email, so that I can print it out and I can give it to Amanda and she can throw it in the file.
So he's choosing to do this disclosure, and his result is that he will not be signing payroll warrants that include the financial. Fire.
He-
And voting on voting on the hiring or appointing of a chief. Because that would technically be a superior officer to him, if he's a firefighter, on-call firefighter. But that's, again, so that's.
I mean, there
what
might
he's-
come an occasion where we do need him to sign.
You can do emergency signing.
Okay.
That's, there's always that.
Okay.
He just, usually you
As long
just,
as he realizes that
you
in
can
an
disclose
emergency, we have to have 3 signatures, and
Right.
Yeah,
if 2 people are on vacation and somebody's sick,
he can disclose that he's
Right.
signing as an emergency
Yeah.
and put that in the minutes.
okay,
yeah.
great, that's all
That
I wanted to
happens
bring
many
that
I
up.
think
times.
it, just keeping it above board and
Okay.
when
And you
things are
see
being
that in
disclosed.
3-member boards a lot more, because if there's only 3 of them.
Right.
Right.
It
It
gets,
happens fairly frequently that someone
Right.
And you're
can't.
still authorized to sign in an emergency.
Correct,
so-
Correct.
correct.
Okay.
They
Okay.
usually just disclose.
Yeah, okay.
So-
all right. So we need a motion to that effect then?
Motion that we accept Shane Duclos disclosure by special municipal employee of financial interest in a municipal contract as required by Mass General Law, Chapter 268A, Section 20, lowercase d.
Motion and a,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're good.
Can you
Shane!
stick your head out there and tell him, come on back?
Okay.
Do you want to take that for
Yeah.
the record?
Yep,
Thank you.
absolutely.
We made you the chair while you were gone.
It's unfortunate, I was next in line at the Creamies.
Yeah, next time come back with ice cream for all of us, right?
I'll put that in the sign.
Okay. All right. Okay, can we just quickly run through the warrants and get that done?
I motion that we approve the 5/27/2026 payroll warrant of $104,235.77.
Motion and a,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain. And a motion for, go ahead.
I motion that we approve the 5/27/2026 vendor warrant of $276,084.31, which includes health insurance, ambulance, and response vehicle.
Yeah.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And minutes?
I motion that we approve the April 28, 2026 executive session minutes.
Second. Oh, yeah, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain, you weren't there. Okay, and May 12th, 2026.
I
Motion to
motion that we
approve.
approve the May 12th, 2026 minutes.
I have to abstain.
Second?
Second.
You're abstaining? All those in favor?
I wasn't here.
Aye.
Darn it.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
I wasn't abstaining from the second, I was abstaining from the vote. Sorry, got ahead of myself.
We always have fun with the minutes. Okay, and why don't we move on to, can you just quickly announce the grants update? This is just the good news, so I want to make sure everybody here, I should have done this at the very beginning. So we have a new grant,
Yes.
we just found out.
Applied for January 8th, 2026. Gotta love those vacation work days. But it was a quick turnaround, but it was great. And we applied for a unpaved road grant, and spoke with Tom, and this was a grant that allowed for some equipment to assist communities that have dirt roads, essentially. Especially since a lot of communities only have a small amount of dirt roads, so it's expensive equipment that you're gonna buy to do a limited amount of work, although you can use it in other places. So towns tend not to purchase it a lot, but it's very, very helpful. So we got notice of the award on May 19th, and it is for a total of $210,305.67, which breaks down roughly to a new excavator for $100,000, a new skid steer loader for $67,000, plus a bucket, forks, a trailer, and a 72-inch brush cutter, totaling the $210,305.67.
Wow, so does that wipe out the,
No, the other one's for a roadside mower.
darn
Different
it.
piece of equipment.
Okay,
But those are pieces of equipment that are useful not for just dirt roads, but probably not something you would buy a lot because it's other things that you use more often. So it's very nice to get this equipment through a grant
wow,
as opposed to have to try and purchase the equipment
good work on
at
that.
town meeting. So yeah,
Okay, we
all
like
good.
grants. Thank you. Okay, Skip, you want to come up?
Sure.
And then I'll take care of the rest of it. We'll talk about summer schedule and fun stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Basically, this is a follow-up to the meeting that we had. the other
Yeah,
day.
we had a good meeting.
And basically what I got tonight is both Mike and myself have gone over the draft of the job description for the fire chief. And it's fairly lengthy, and I think some areas it's kind of repetitive, but the only issues that he and I kind of concurred on is in the the statement of duties for the fire chief. It includes emergency medical. The chief ensures delivery of safe, effective, and lawful fire suppression, emergency medical, rescue, and emergency response services for the rest of the residents of the town. So it makes it sound as though the fire chief is in charge of emergency medical response, and that's not the case. Obviously, EMS takes care of emergency medical response, so it would probably be more realistic if we just struck out medical and then it'd be fire suppression, emergency rescue, because we do all types of emergency rescue, including auto extrication and whatnot. So our recommendation would be to strike out the medical there, and then the other issue would be under supervisory responsibility. Is it, at least it has the employee. Everywhere else in this paragraph, it refers to the position, the fire chief. So I think that should be changed to the fire chief is accountable for the direction and success.
Instead of employee, just
Instead of
use-
employee, it's very,
Oh, okay.
employee is very vague. It should be that the fire chief is accountable for the direction and success
Okay.
of a major department
Yeah.
of the town. Other than it being a little lengthy.
Would you want it
but
again?
I know there was,
Do you want it again under confidentiality? It does it again. in
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
and in accountability,
Okay.
so I'll go in and
Yeah,
search
yeah.
those out.
Yeah.
Anywhere
okay.
there's an employee,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can put the fire chief.
Yeah.
Certainly on the first
yeah.
line.
we'll
yeah,
just do
yeah.
a search and replace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so that's all we had as far as the job description for the
That's
fire
it?
chief. Yeah, that's it. And I just want to let you know that I have gone through and made some edits and some changes in the SOGs.
Yeah.
And I've got them completed. I want I want Michael to just review them, and I talked to them, and we may be able to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I need to get them to Russ Anderson, our
Yeah.
consultant, to
Yeah.
have him incorporate those, or we can have discussions as far as what the
Yeah.
changes need to be.
Well, this is good. We just met last Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
So I had done some of that before I went on vacation, and I finished it up over the short weekend that we had. But anyway, the other thing that I just want to bring up to the board is that he has developed, or he has forwarded to us 16 SOGs, standard operating guidelines.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And 8 of them we just need to tweak, because there's some things that are specific to the Northfield and how
Yeah.
we operate and whatnot, and how our training has gone. The other thing that he brought up, and it is since, basically it was right after the incident in Maine where they lost a volunteer firefighter in
Oh,
the
right.
Searsmont, Maine lumber mill, is he didn't have an SOG for staging and accountability. We have policies, we have unwritten policies and procedures for accountability. Every firefighter is issued two ID tags. One ID tag is kept with their turnout gear for structural firefighting and automobile rescues and whatnot. The other tag is kept on their brush gear. So they have 2 tags, and the policy is for them to forfeit the tag when you get to the scene. And we have accountability boards, 1 in each engine and 1 in the brush truck. So we always should have accountability of our personnel, no matter what they do. The other thing that happens during a larger incident or a structure fire, and it also happens on mutual aid, is where the firefighters you might take 2 or 3 firefighters and assemble a team to go in and do interior attack, search and rescue, whatever it is inside the building. And they're assigned that duty through accountability from staging. When they get done with that task, they're supposed to come back to staging, get their tags until they're reassigned. When they come out of the building, they could go to rehab, they could go just back into staging. It depends how long they were in, how much air they used. There's some criteria that we use there. But at any given point with the accountability system, we should know where everybody is. So if they've gone into the building and done a task, once that task is complete, they come out, they grab their tag, or the tag gets then changed from interior 2nd floor to staging or to rehab.
Okay.
So
So
if
it's a
something catastrophic
physical-
happens,
yeah.
we should have a pretty damn good idea who is where at any point.
Right.
Okay? We have that process in place.
Right.
But we need to
Document.
document
Yeah,
and have a procedure
Yeah.
or a written guideline to cover that.
Have it in writing, yeah.
Have it in writing.
Yeah.
Is basically what we're looking. And he was going to work on that.
Russ was or Mike?
Russ was.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I worked up a rough draft, and I'm going to forward that to Russ.
oh, okay.
I don't know what he has been working on since, was it last
Tuesday?
Tuesday? I don't know if he's had a chance to do
I don't know,
anything
because
or
he
not.
had his own town meeting that
Yeah, yeah,
night too,
yeah,
because he's
no,
on the select
yeah,
board.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the last thing I had was.
Can I just ask you one question?
Sure.
Clarification?
Yes.
So when you talk about tag, is it a physical, I'm looking over at Shane too, is it a physical
It's a
marker?
metal tag imprinted with the firefighter's name.
Yeah,
On a clip. So it is the board we have, we can clip it to the board as far as, and if we go mutual aid and they say, okay, Northfield, I need three fellows for you to go on in the basement and secure utilities. Those 3 tags, generally there's an officer that goes. So what we do is we take the officer's tag, clip the other 2 firefighters to that tag.
oh, okay,
This makes a team, and that gets clipped to basement. So,
Okay.
Okay, and
Yep.
then when they finish that task, they come back out and either get reassigned and automatically go somewhere else, or they go back into staging, and then when they get redeployed for a task,
Mm-hmm.
that is that's the way that those tags move.
And so when you're doing mutual aid, is there like is everybody doing a similar system?
Yes.
Yeah.
Southwest Fire.
Because if you end up
specifically.
working with Bernardston on
Yep,
the
yep,
91
yep.
or whatever,
And
yeah.
we go to the bigger departments have accountability. If there is no accountability, the chief officer or the OIS officer in charge for Northfield takes and makes sure that they're accountable. When I send firefighters in, and if there's no accountability board in the community that we're in, whether it's in Franklin County or even if it's in Vermont or New Hampshire, the highest ranking officer in Northfield will take those tags and know exactly where those people are.
Okay.
He is not committed to going inside. Okay, he is committed to staying with command and tracking his people. Because the other issue that happens is when we go over the border, we don't have their radio communications and they don't have our radio communications. So even though an interior team is issued a portable, our command stands with the incident command and on our radio frequency. So if anything happens, we relay it immediately to the
Oh,
to
you're
the
standing
command.
next to the
We're
guy with the
standing-
radio and
standing
then,
almost,
okay, got it.
but not quite arm in arm.
Yeah. Not glued
So,
at the
not
shoulder,
glued,
yeah.
Exactly.
But,
But
okay,
those are procedures that we've had in place.
Yeah.
And that we do use, but we need them written. So. there's no-
written and also that physical tag
Yep.
is, I mean, you're doing that already,
Yep.
but just have that physical reminder of where everybody is as well. It's like belts and suspenders,
Yep,
right?
yep,
You-
yep.
you
Yeah,
need
before
a-
anybody goes in,
Yeah,
tag, okay?
good,
That-
okay.
That's something that.
Okay.
So we're working on that.
Yep.
And the last thing I wanted to do is while I was on vacation, I had worked up a draft of, Russ had mentioned that we should have a letter of memorandum or a letter of understanding between the fire department and the select board and the town administrator. I had done that on vacation. I think it's on my laptop. But
Oh.
that I just want to forward it to probably Andrea, and she can forward it to you guys, and
Yeah.
then we can tweak it.
And
from
me,
there.
because I've been writing down my own notes
Yep.
based on our conversations over the last year, so we can put together a document. And then what I told Mike and you, and I'll tell it to the board and the public, is we're going to be working on our schedule tonight for the summer, and we're looking at what's left to do, and then we're going to map, almost like the tag system. in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
We're going to
yeah,
map
yeah.
the tasks to each of the select board meetings, because we'll end up with like 5 or 6 meetings, and we want to make
Right.
sure each meeting there's a fire task, so they don't get all bunched up like in the end of July or something.
So the SOGs in the letter of memorandum or understanding are the next 2 items that I'd like to check off those boxes, okay? We need to develop position requirements for the other officers
Right.
and for the firefighters.
I tentatively was thinking we would do that for June 16th, or if we end up doing June 16th, but to
Okay.
get those out of the way sooner
Yeah,
rather
I
than
think
later.
These should almost be ready to go.
The descriptions for the captains and stuff? Okay,
And the letter of
Great.
memorandum of understanding would be definitely, those would be ready to do. So,
okay,
just an update.
nice, I like it.
Okay.
So maybe we'll do another meeting with Russ just to walk through everything and.
Well, I was just gonna reach out to him. What I'd like to do
Okay.
is I'd like to reach out to him.
Yeah,
I'll give him
go
my
ahead.
draft and I'll give him what our edits are
Yeah.
on the SOGs. Let him implement them and then send them back to us. And then we'll look at them and make sure that they're where they need to be.
It's all what you guys
Yeah,
think, and then
yeah.
we'll just approve them like we've done
Yeah,
with EMS and with police, so
I can take his, I think he sent other officer descriptions, didn't he?
I think so.
And put them in the format like I did with this one.
Okay,
So then you can
Then we
review
can
the other
review
ones
those.
as well,
Okay.
once I
Yeah.
put them in
okay.
the town's format.
Great. Did anybody else have any suggestions for the,
Job description?
Yeah, thank you, job description.
No, I was gonna defer to Skip and Michael, whatever you guys edit.
Yep. Yeah.
And it looks, I can understand they're long-winded and somewhat redundant, but that's part of what it is. So
Yeah, that's not a
It
problem.
read fine to me, so
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
couple tweaks means you guys nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My only thing was, I'm sorry, Bernie, did you have any?
No,
Did you have
not
any?
a job description looked fine to me. I mean,
Okay. I just had like a little wordsmithing in the first paragraph. It wasn't any, it was just the way, I think where we said under supervision required, it says individual establishes short-range plans and objectives. Is that like individual short-range plans and objectives? Town performance standards?
No, that's the fire chief establishes.
Right.
So we can change
Oh,
individual
okay.
to fire chief
Oh,
if you
okay,
want.
great. Okay, that,
For
it just,
clarity.
okay. It was a little confusing to me. And then I just want to make sure under supervisory responsibility, or maybe it's elsewhere, I wrote down fall annual budget and planning processes under the list of,
Under essential functions, there's a whole section on
Yeah.
budget finance.
Okay.
The budget's
Okay.
covered underneath the, yeah.
okay. I was just thinking
Yeah.
under supervisory because you've got to gather
Mhm.
anything from your captains and stuff, but that's fine. Otherwise, I think it's just changing out the fire chief
Mhm.
and, for employee and individual.
And
Okay.
removing the
Right.
word medical.
Okay,
And the word medical, yeah.
Okay.
yep,
I mean, we are medically trained as first responders only, but
Right.
it shouldn't be the fire chief's job to oversee emergency medical.
I think that's-
Obviously, that's EMS, right.
well, and also I think that's, if this is standard
It
for,
probably came from a standard.
came from other communities that EMS
Maybe
is
maybe
always,
share,
yeah, EMS is always
Yeah,
under,
yeah.
for the most part.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
cool, thank you.
Perfect.
That's all I have.
All right, so we should vote to approve this as amended?
Sure, I can change all the fire chiefs to where we
Okay.
have it and cross out medical.
So moved.
second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Very good.
We'll-
Thank you.
We'll make a note of your eye as
Yeah.
well. That's important.
Okay.
Thank you, Skip.
All right.
All right, we'll be in
Skip.
touch.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. Okay,
And maybe next, I didn't have a time frame for when I was supposed to report tonight.
well, that's what, once we get done with the schedule, that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna loop back to you and Mike
Okay,
on,
all right.
because then I'll say, okay, now we have the following meetings and we
Yeah.
have the following tasks,
Yeah.
and this is what we're thinking how
Yeah.
it would work from an
And just-
agenda
and just
standpoint.
Give us a time frame
Yeah.
that it works for your.
Yeah, and then
for your
you can,
meeting. Yeah,
but I'll send it to you so you guys can
Yeah.
go, we'd rather do this one first
Yeah,
or
okay.
second or whatever.
all right,
Okay,
very good.
cool,
Thank
thanks
you.
a lot.
Okay.
Alrighty, payment in lieu of taxes pilot. We have to correct the motion that we did last week. Sorry about that, guys. We didn't mention the buy in between the BWC Pine Meadowbrook LLC and the town of Northfield. What we did was we mentioned the property owners, which is fine, those are still listed out, but we needed to make sure that it was, the assessors wanted to make sure that we did the motion for the agreement for payment in lieu of taxes by and between BWC, what's that?
Sounds like
Camera?
something's going on in your bag over there.
Oh, something's, I don't know. There's no mini split.
is it?
There was.
I don't have anything in there.
Maybe the mouse
That's
ate it.
weird, sounded like a mouse.
Electronic one.
An angry one.
Everybody moves away from Bernie.
I don't know.
Okay. All right, keep an eye out on that bag.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
See something, say something.
Maybe it was my keys making the noise. Was there something beeping outside? No?
No.
Okay,
No, it just sounded like a squeak, squeak.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's just keeping us on
Maybe
our
something I
toes.
ate.
I don't think it was you.
Okay. So can I get a motion? So we already signed these, so all we're doing is correcting the motion to authorize the chair to sign the agreement for payment in lieu of taxes by and between BWC Pine Meadow Brook LLC and the town of Northfield. Parenthetically, property owner is Hopping Ahead LLC. And the agreement for payment in lieu of taxes by and between BWC Miriam Brook LLC and the town of Northfield. Property owner is Hopping Ahead LLC, Bonnie Tucker Latoile, and Eugene Latoile.
So motion. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Are we good, Andrea?
Yes.
Okay,
We'll
thank
just
you.
date them,
Yeah.
today's
So-
date.
That's a note for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I will. I've got a few, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know there's a transition between the two, and one of them needs to pay it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll add that. I already added bills to the list.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we did that. Fire department, we did that. Okay, now select board summer schedule. Woohoo! Thank you for that. Okay.
This is the proposed meeting schedule, so it can still be changed, obviously. And we do have to complicate it somewhat because of the OPM
Oh, here it is.
interviews. And the select board has to decide how you want to handle that for the select board's piece of the OPM interviews. So right now, the
OPM?
owner project manager for EMS.
Oh, yeah.
The interviews for the screening are this Thursday and June 2nd, Tuesday,
For the building
for the
committee.
building committee. And then they're going to
June
make their
2nd.
finalist recommendations. Typically, that's to the select board. So you will be interviewing the two finalists, discussing who you like best, and then asking for a price proposal. Now, there's.
So Shane and Dan, right, are sitting in on the building committee on those, the initial, both the screening and the finalists then?
They would be. Yeah.
Okay,
Theoretically, if they're both here, but I know
Okay.
that both of them have some conflicts in the terms of some of it, but they'd be at least in part of it.
okay.
So you really have two options. So once they do their screening interviews, the second one being on June 2nd, they're going to make a recommendation forward to the select board with their top ranked 1 and 2, presumably. But they would give you at least 2 to do finalist interviews. Now, the finalist interviews can be much shorter or short enough because they've done a more extensive screening interview, which will be, you'll be able to see. I'm going to actually record them for the person who's taking the minutes. But at any rate, generally you then meet with them again in a shorter sort of format. And certainly any questions you would want to ask them, please let me know, because sometimes we send them a couple of questions that you specifically want at that point. Whether you want to do that in 2 half-hour increments on your meeting on the 16th, that's up to you. Or if you wanted to do a special meeting just for that agenda on the 9th, that would also be up to you. The reason to do them pro and con is if you did them on the 16th, you could do them maybe 6:30 to 7:30, do half an hour quick interviews. You could make your vote at that point or number them 1, 2, and then you could authorize a couple of members, Matt, myself, to just go ahead and negotiate a fee with them. In other words, they give a proposal, negotiate it, bring it back to the select board on July 7th, because you guys would ultimately be approving that fee. That's through the select board. If you do it at a 9th, then you could authorize, and then the other 2 select board members could bring it back on the 16th for you to make a decision on the fee. You don't have to like the fee. If you don't like it, send the group back, renegotiate. If you don't like it at all, you can say, go to candidate number 2, number 1's not working out, start the process again. The only reason to keep this as part of June and not get too far out is that we've given them a very short timeline if you want to have something back by the end of summer, early fall, to potentially move forward at the fall town meeting in November. So the longer this plays out, that really
The more
crunches up
bunched
the
up stuff
timeline
gets.
becomes for them to, because they're going to help you go through some consultants, they're gonna help you possibly get a designer architect on board to start going forward with some kind of proposal and maybe have some options come fall, or you could end up with another special town meeting later in the spring, or you're waiting a whole year till next May to move forward. So gave them a pretty aggressive timeline over the summer to do some very important work. So I just, but I don't know what the select board's pleasure is on handling that yourselves. But you could do a special meeting just for those interviews, make them targeted, or you can do it on the 16th.
Okay. All
Up
right.
to you.
What are any initial thoughts from folks on the calendar? So if we were going every 2 weeks, we would go, today's the May 26th, we would go on the 9th anyway. And what we were hoping to do was do the 16th because July, we're going to have one right on July 7th. And that gives people a little bit of a break during the summer. So do you want me to try and fit the two finalists into the meeting on the 16th? Or do you just want to do it separately on the 9th, I guess is the choice.
Or any other night you want. I just
Or
picked
any
it
other
because it was a
night.
Tuesday.
Right.
Which would have normally been in your schedule.
What do we have? Do we have a lot of stuff for the 16th, or don't know yet?
Well, we definitely have more fire
More fire,
stuff.
but that was fairly quick.
Yeah, because we're doing homework in between, which is good.
You were
so.
gonna have Highway come in because he's on vacation.
Oh, we
for
gotta
this
do
meeting.
paving, yeah.
Usually you kind of have him come in and do what's his plan for the season.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a long,
Tommy's normally pretty fast anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it doesn't have to be a long thing. I had the other half of the select board policies, but you could move those another meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not time sensitive work.
Mhm.
Again, you can
No, I'm
continue
just
to
trying to
review
make
that.
sure we're moving through
Yeah.
them. But
Right, you have half tonight. And then you had fire department.
We're gonna have fire department on each of the
Right,
meetings
no matter
until Skip's birthday is in August, so
Those
that's
were the
his
really
final.
Only big things on there.
It honestly matters not to me if we make it the 9th or we try to pile on the 16th. I mean, if it's easier for us to do it and compartmentalize it on the 9th, that's fine with me.
I'm gone.
You're gone
I'm
anyway.
gone.
You don't care.
Now, you're
Darn
coming
it.
to the
I'm
other two,
I'm
right?
gone on the 9th too,
I'm gone from
You are
the
gone?
No,
8th.
but I meant the
9th and 10th,
the
yeah.
screening ones.
Okay,
28th
well
and the
that-
2nd.
Yes,
Sounds
I can
like
come
it's
to
the
those.
Right, so you
16th.
will meet them,
Yeah,
I can't make
28th
the
and the
9th.
what, 2nd?
2nd of June.
So,
Did you not get invited to that? Oh, why are you not getting those? All right, I'm
I
gonna send
didn't
you all
see
the
it.
material.
Okay. I don't think
Okay.
I do
You're on
anyway, so I'll
my,
double check it.
you're on
I'm
my
going away the
group one.
9th now too.
Okay, well, let's all go away on the 9th.
Hey,
I will too.
buy your plane ticket, I'll take care of you.
Barney's.
Great.
Party at Bernie's, I like it.
Okay.
Is that the 9th? Let me write that down.
They're 5:30 to 6:30 and 6:30
Okay.
to
We'll make it the
7:30.
16th?
So it looks like we have to do the 16th.
Yeah, I
I
think we
did
have
have
to do
it,
the
yep.
16th.
Or
Okay, so
or
you
a
have the
different
time-
day.
The different ones?
Yep, yep,
Okay, good.
sorry.
No, that's a good, that's
200
good.
emails
You
a
could
day.
certainly send me your rankings then and I can,
Shane, what's your vacation schedule?
I'm gone from the 8th until the 24th.
Oh, you
so
are
he's
gone.
gonna miss it. Well, he's going
And I'm
far
out of the,
away.
and I'm out of the country too, so.
Even better. All right, well, either we can do it like the 11th or we can just pile it into the 16th.
What do you think, Bernie?
I just say we do it and pile it in the 16th.
Okay, me too.
Okay.
Okay.
We've been doing
I
well
can
about
do it.
keeping the other meetings short. You know, we have one long one.
So I figured if you do that, then you
Okay.
could have Highway come, have him come first at 6.
Yeah,
And then, so I'd schedule the other ones at like 6:30 and 7.
yeah.
So it's,
And the goal will be to have like standard questions, so we're not free forming. We want to make sure they're getting the same set of questions either way. And they can definitely be different than what the building committee has been doing. I already weighed in on what I wanted based on my experience 3 years ago. So, yeah, we can make it work on the 16th.
I might even zoom in if I can.
Okay, That'd be good.
Yeah.
Be on vacation.
Either way, yeah. I'm fine with people taking vacations. I want to actually,
I encourage it. Step out.
Been the first time in a long time, so.
yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do it on the 16th. Are you going to be involved with the building committee ones anyway, so you'll get
Yeah,
a sense?
I'm gonna go, the other two meetings, the 28th and the 2nd,
Yeah.
I've already met them.
I also made a note with Skip to add to my list with Skip is OPM for other projects as well, for the fire.
You have an EMS meeting the 28th?
18th.
No, the building committee, you mean? They're interviewing the 4 candidates on the 28th and the 2nd. And then they will
Okay.
make, that Emergency Services Facility Committee will then make a recommendation of 2 of them, probably finalists for you
Yeah.
guys.
What time are those meetings?
One will be at 5:30 and the second one's at 6:30. There'll be 2 people back to back on each of those nights.
And that's here?
It is.
Okay.
So if we sat in, do we need to, not to participate, just to listen, do we need to post it? Should we post it?
I would say
I would just
no,
come as a
because,
citizen, I'm just curious.
Yeah, but if we're,
no, because I'm encouraging them not to take any public, so you can be here to listen. You
just
wouldn't
wanna
be
listen.
participating.
okay, so we don't have to post it then. Okay,
Okay.
because I might,
He's
Yeah.
already gonna be here.
Mhm.
yeah.
Dan is not gonna be here because he has a graduation, but I have to record it for the person who takes the notes, so also you
Okay,
could watch it.
I just need to
okay.
get a little traction so when I hear these people, it's not the first time.
Yeah.
And I can send you.
And the discussion too, I think is helpful.
And I will send you all the proposals, all 4, even though you'll end up with 2, all their initial submissions.
Okay.
It's a large set of files, I'm
There's
just
4
saying.
of them, so.
Okay, all right. How do we feel about the rest of the schedule? Because
Looks good.
for the most part, it keeps us on track, and the warrant weeks are in yellow to come in and sign, either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Does that work for you, everybody?
Yeah, we'll send you a reminder too, that warrants are in.
Are you missing a
Missing one
warrant
in
in
July. She didn't put July's in.
What?
There's only one in
Well,
July.
probably because it's not an off week. So if they have a meeting here, there's already
Okay.
a warrant there.
Okay.
Oh, the
So I think
7th.
she was showing the warrant that's off week.
Okay,
So if you come in the 7th, that's a warrant week.
okay.
Okay.
And then September already
Yeah.
goes back to the 1st, the 15th, and the 29th, so you'd be back on schedule for those.
Yeah, can you just mark in the September ones, because I think that shows,
I just circled them on mine.
yeah.
So the 1st, the 15th, right, because it looks like August you have that one, but then
August
the
looks
1st, you have
sparse,
3 in
but,
September,
yeah,
which is back to normal
Yeah.
schedule.
okay,
Another
right.
vacation,
What?
or another vacation.
Or on time for you to sign up for another vacation, quick.
okay. You guys are all cool with this, so we don't talk about the summer schedule in August or
Yeah,
September?
We're fine.
Okay. All right, that'd be great. Okay. All right, so I will get to work on looking at the fire tasks for Mike and Andrea and me and Russ and Skip, and start mapping them out, and then I'll bring those to the next meeting too, so you guys can see that. Okay. Now, so much paperwork. I've got a pile. Usually I have an organized pile, but not tonight. Okay, so summer schedule, we're all done. Select board onboarding. We don't have to go through everything tonight. This is just to get everything started. And since you're new, Shane, then we can kind of, and Dave is not new, but this was kind of an issue for him
So
starting.
I just wanted to show you the materials I had developed. Shane was the beneficiary of them.
Yeah,
I made some notes.
he's the guinea pig, but don't.
So I have a town information piece that Shane got a little 3-ring binder.
Yep.
And then the town handbook, which
little.
is, yeah, little. The town handbook, which contains some excerpts from the full MMA handbook, which I did not print for this evening, but I do print one copy to put in the book. It's 145 pages. I also have it electronically, but when I put the book together for a new member, I do print it to put in there for the one time. So the select board handbook really is kind of excerpts and helpful bits out of that if you don't have the patience to sit through it. Also, I include the town employee policy and the financial policy. So in his 3-ring binder, he got those. I'm going to be adding, because one of the things we discovered when we started going through this, a page that will go in it with the current contact information with the other select boards, town secretary, and me. So that page will be inserted into that 3-ring binder as well when they get it. And once we get through these, which we have half of them tonight, the select board policies will also be a section added into that. We're just going over them because they're ranging from the last 15 years, and I'm trying to get them in a standard format. I want you guys to review them, update them. Some of them are quite old, some of them are out of date from the practice. And so once you've done those, then we'll include that as well as part of the handbook when it's given out. So I guess part of the question too is, do you think you got enough? Is there anything missing?
I'm about 3/4 of the way through, and it's been good reading.
Good.
Good reading.
Just in case you're having trouble falling asleep.
Yeah, well,
then,
that's not usually a problem.
So
but
I do have a thing with the select board policy, so I do keep a copy of it.
Okay.
But you guys have the first version of it here. She printed out that these are the ones that I managed to get in
They're
format.
they're actually in a document. Some of them are so old that they're just in paper form only, and they
Some
need
of
to
them I
be
can't find and I
recreated.
have to retype because
Yeah.
we can't find them. They look like they're on a typewriter. So there's looks like you got 17 tonight. There's about 16 more. So this is about half. I gave you some that I already had. Some I'm updating the policy. Some we managed to find. But we'll put it all together in a booklet once it's done. There's also some forms that go along with these, like the exit interview form. I stuck it in there, but I have a form section ultimately. But and some of these I'm trying to update. Like there's a COBRA policy. I'd like to actually talk to Michelle about the COBRA policy before, make sure it's current before we have you review it. But yes, so these were put into the correct format. And I guess the question is, do you want it? I don't think you need
Would
to
you
go
like
through
to
every
read
one
these
of them.
all aloud
Yes,
for the
let me
next
start.
hour?
We'll be here
and
for
then,
now. But if anybody looked at them, do they have any questions? Because again, some of these are older than others. So
Some of them are more familiar than others.
I was recognized everything there, and I'm fine with.
I didn't see anything. Yeah, and
I didn't see anything new or.
And you guys can also bring this back to your board anytime. Like you guys, these are your policies. So anything you guys want to change, just bring to the board, and the board can vote to update any of the policies. Some of these are the newer ones because they were already in a format that I could copy and paste and get them in the right format. Some of the older ones you will be seeing coming up that might be a little bit more, although you do have the Corey policy from 2015. It's probably still relevant. So anyway, and what we're going through is the designer selection procedures, which by the way, the policy's in here. So that's what we're actually going through right now.
Yeah, so
Follows Mass General Law.
I would say these all look good to me. What I would say to folks is if you see something that you would like to speak about publicly, let Andrea know. Like, for example, citizen concerns. That's pretty much all captured, and it was updated in 2023. I think this is pretty much how we've been following it, but it might be helpful to actually post this so people can see. We've always been flexible on where to put it. It's just we have to put it somewhere when we post the agenda, and so it might behoove us to just do that in public on this one, even if it looks good. And maybe actually walk through the designer selection procedures so people are more familiar with that. That's all I'm thinking about.
And there's an emergency designer selection, in case you haven't had a chance to look at that.
Yeah.
The emergency policies for,
There's one somewhere I was just looking at where designer was spelled, emergency desinger.
oh,
Yeah,
I don't know, I'll correct that.
all right.
I don't know how that made it through spell check.
Any other thoughts, you guys, on? So you're good with them. Is there, so just think about it, if there's something you think we should bring forth in public discussion, right?
Yep,
David, you're good with them too, or?
yep. I mean, I'll reread them.
And then figure out which ones, if any, we want to just bring to the public attention and discuss it out loud. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay, and then we have like 16 or 17.
And I'll put those on for, I'll skip the 16th on them.
Yeah, we're not
leave
going to
the-
do these on the 16th.
No, but I'll send these out
Oops.
to you, the other half out to
Yikes.
you. But since the 16th is gonna look really busy, we'll bump it to the July 7th meeting for now.
Yeah, July 7th will be appropriately boring because we'll just be doing a lot of financial end-of-year transfers and things. It won't be exciting, it won't be boring, but it won't be exciting either. So maybe we'll squeeze in a couple more policies then.
Right, and then once these are done, I'm going to ask that they be sent for codification. If you've ever seen the blue book
Yeah.
that we have with the town's,
Can we actually get them on the website so
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
searchable? Great,
yes. So
okay.
once we get these done, then I'll send them off and the
Great.
codification people will do another section of the book.
Great.
Right now, we have obviously the general bylaws, we have the zoning bylaws, and these are essentially.
And they're all on the homepage.
Right, so we can have them codify
Great.
and add them to that, and then they'll become part section of that whole
And you
Town
can
of
search
Northfield
them.
policy books.
Look at that. Okay, all right, moving on. Thanks, everyone. Committee board appointments, we took care of the urgent recreation one. Announcements, do we have any announcements? This is getting into the slow time of the year,
No.
which is good. Recognition for service, I just wanted to say a big shout out and thank you to Bob Henry and everybody who was involved with the Memorial Day ceremony yesterday. It ended up being inside at the Trinitarian Church, so a big thank you to the Trinitarian folks for hosting, and for Cammie for turning on the heat, because it was cold. I just wanted to say that people had told me afterwards, they missed the parade, but they loved hearing the speeches and the discussion in person, that was really meaningful. And I don't know if people realize this or not, but Kit, one of the speakers, is the son of Genevieve Clark, the eldest citizen. Colleen and I had no idea that Kit was speaking. So it was like this, I'm like, well, who's this guy and you? And this is my son. So Colleen and like, oh my God. So one of the speakers is in uniform, is the eldest citizen's son. It was just like one of those nice synchronicity moments. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. It was just really, really lovely. And Gibby, speaking about his son Kyle, that was really moving and wonderful. And the cane presentation to Genevieve was really, really well received. I talked with her family afterwards and they were just thrilled, and Genevieve was thrilled too. And Colleen did a great job speaking. She's like, you have to get up there with me. So I'm standing there. She did everything really well. It just got a little emotional because the other thing Colleen learned right before this presentation was that her father used to work with at Linden Hill School with Genevieve. So there was like another little synchronicity moment there too. It was just like, that's what happens in a small community. So thanks to everyone bringing that forward. I think that's it. Anything else for recognition for service? Motion?
No.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.